people going to think of our new buttermilk crispy chicken? Let's find out.
It's probably the best sandwich I've ever had.
It's super crispy, but it's also really juicy.
So would you guys come back? Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, here's our card. The location is on the back. It's McDonald's? What? What?
Oh, get out
No way.
Wait, seriously?
Try some buttermilk crispy chicken. It's right around the corner at McDonald's. Buttermilk.
All right, thanks for coming back and being with us. Coach Jeff Griffith here with the Barron County Trojans on Ask the Coach. And just want to remind you that after the show, if you didn't get to catch it all, you can go online and check out the McDonald's podcast with game film. And just a reminder, that game film probably will not be up there until tomorrow, but we will have the podcast available. Coach, looking ahead to next week. Next week is a big week for us. So we're going into this same as Grayson. I think they're 0-2 in the district as well. Same records, 2-6, and we've got to travel halfway around the world. That's what it feels like driving over to Litchfield. But we're going to make that trek over to Litchfield next Friday night, and hopefully come away with a win. And coming off of, even though it was a loss last night, and you go back and what you've said already, we had to take some positive things away from that just for the effort that was given for 4 quarters of football last night. I really and truly think that this game we're going to next week is a winnable game.
Well, we feel like it's winnable. Of course, we feel every game's winnable going into it. Some teams you look at on video, though, and obviously they're either a lot more talented or they're at the same talent level as you. And this is one where we feel like it's a game where we're both going to be fighting our tails off to try to get a victory and get the 3 seed in the district. And as I said last night, Grayson's a team that was won 9 games, 3 out of the last 5 years. Their kids and program knows winning football games, and that's something that we've got to overcome that hurdle with them. They're a young football team, although they start. They've got 8 or 9 seniors that start, but they're a young football team that's been fighting all year, and it's going to be a tough game. Like you said, there's no easy way into Litchfield to get to Grayson County High School, so we're going to have about an hour bus ride or so, and have to get off the bus and be ready to play.
Thinking about these next 2 weeks are critical weeks. Are you gonna end the year? You want to end it on an upswing, and of course I think whatever takes place over there Friday night is going to set of what takes place later on in our district matchup. I think we either at this point, if I understand correctly, we're either going to have to travel to Owensboro or to Christian County. A win takes us to Christian County. A loss take you to Owensboro, which both those teams are really good teams. But knowing what I have seen, I think I would rather go as a 3 seed and travel down to Christian County than I had a 4 seed. Number one, a 4 seed means you lose next week, and we don't want that to happen. We want to win. We want to go in with some momentum into the Edmonson County game and let that bleed over into the first round of playoffs.
Well, we need to finish the season strong. We're in a rut here of losing 6 straight games here in the middle of the year, and we need to finish strong. We need to win these games and be competitive and get after it. And momentum is a powerful thing, and we need to get our mojo back a little bit. And while we didn't get our mojo back in terms of a win last night, I do think we were competitive last night. And the thing that we had. If practice means anything, we had a great week of practice last week preparing for Bowling Green, and I think if we'll prepare for Grayson County the same way we did with the same level of attention to detail and stuff on Tuesday and Wednesday this week that we did last week, then we're going to put ourselves in a good spot to have a chance to win the football game and be the 3 seed in the district.
What, as you look, of course, I've not looked at Grayson County any on film. I'm sure you've seen something. What style of ball are we similar? Do they spread us out? How's that kind of going to look? How are we going to have to game plan to go in and take on this Grayson County team?
They're a similar style of offense to what Greenwood played, minus the quarterback of coach, of course. Thank goodness.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're a veer option type team, and that's what they're going to do. And they're a similar style defense that we all play in this district, a 50 defense, and that's so we're going to be familiar with what they do, and they're just like I said, they've been kind of going back and forth, I think, between a freshman quarterback and a senior quarterback. So I'm not sure who we're going to see this week, but both of them run their offense effectively, and they've got some a little bit of size up front. So they're a good football team. They've beaten some good. They're kind of like us in a lot of ways, in that they've beaten a couple of teams, in their 2 wins that are pretty good football teams. Then they've had a couple of head scratching losses. So we're kind of in the same spot, but we're going to go over there. It's going to be a battle, and Ed Smart is a good friend of mine, and he's one of the most underrated coaches in the state, and probably does more with less than anyone in the state.
Well, we're going to look forward to making that trip over there next week, and coming back next Saturday and talking about a win. That's what we want to do. Kind of want to recap just a little bit, of last night. Again, it wasn't a zero effective night. Overall, last night we ran a total of 51 plays for 270 yards, and most of that on the ground. 38 of those rushing for 194 yards. We had 11 first downs, and of course those 3 penalties for 35 yards, and of course then the 1 touchdown that Snead ran in. But just looking at it statistically last night, I mean, of course, we didn't win the ball game, but again, it goes back to what we said. There were some positive things that come away. I don't know how many years it's been that I have watched us go to Bowling Green and play them and never see Bowling Green punt the football. And our defense played well enough last night. They had to punt that ball on more than one occasion. So that's positive. Our defense playing well, and what we want to see is just watch that. Let's roll that over this week. Let's defense come out. Let's play well. That veer has given us trouble already this year. Trying to stop that.
I think that's
option.
an understatement there, Brad.
Has given us a little trouble. I can think back to every team we've played. Okay, who's got the quarterback? Who's got the pitch man? Who's got the fullback? And we've seen some athletic kids that's got out on the edge that's beat us, or a quarterback that's pulled it back in and end up getting 30-40 yards or a touchdown. So after watching our defense play last night and how they played, it's one of those things where, okay, maybe we're getting back in that flow of things. Some adjustments have been made. So I'm excited about what I saw happen last night going into this next week. Against a Grayson County team that similar to what we are. Yeah,
I mean it's one of those things where and we've got to build on what we did last week. That's the thing. We can't take a step back. And it's going to be a completely different style of play. We're going from competing against a spread team with a lot of athletes to a veer team that's going to be running the football, and reading everything. And to stop a veer team and to stop a good veer team, you've got to execute, but you've got to do it with a level of intensity every single snap. And if you don't, that's when the fullback's going to come out the back door, or the quarterback is, and you can't take a play off, because that's when they get you. That's what they can't hang their hat on you doing. And I think we've learned our lessons, hopefully, from when we played Greenwood, and we can, if we can build on it and have a good week of practice this week, I think we'll go over there and compete and hopefully come away with a victory.
All right. I, as far as I know, we came away last night with no injuries. Other than minor things. Every week, I'm telling you, you go out on that field and you play for 48 minutes. Somebody's going to come off of their hurt a little bit, but as far as I know, there wasn't anything major that happened last night.
Well, it's a football game, and if you're not coming away a little beat up and bruised, then you haven't played hard, or you haven't got into the fray. It's not like tag or flag football or basketball or even baseball to some degree. Although, heck, when I was growing up, I hated baseball because I could play football a little bit, but man, if that ball hit me in a baseball, I was ready to just kill somebody. But you should be beat up a little bit after a football game. It's a physical game, and not everybody can play it. And that's the thing that I like about our kids, though, is that the kids that we have on our football team, they're football players, and they love to play, and as long as we come and bring a level of intensity, we can be a pretty good football team at times.
All right, well, you come on out next week and travel over with us to Litchfield as we take on Grayson County. And if you can't make it next week, join us and on the radio, and so we can cheer on the Trojans. And I want to say, I think Coach Snead had a death in the family this week. I know he lost his mom, and that's Zach's grandmother. So our prayers and thoughts go out to the Sneed family. As far as I'm concerned, there's no better guy than Tony Sneed is. I think a lot of him and those kids. Zach is just a great young man as well, and we want our thoughts and prayers go out to them. Coach, we want to thank you for coming in and joining us this morning. And again, we want to thank our sponsors. And after the show is over with, if you missed part of it and you want to go catch all of the show, you can check us out on the McDonald's podcast with game film right after the show airs. And folks, come back and join us next week as we come back with Ask the Coach with Coach Griffith.